The thing about platforms, the reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as there's something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invite her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce. Well, now,
why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common professionally.
And like the Diddy, the parties, not got invited to those. He was in Cali going to a couple parties with Meek, right? And Meek told my inside man that he can't go to, with two or three parties, yeah. So he got left like at the crib or Airbnb, hotel, mansion, wherever it was. Like he couldn't go. Well, like, yo, you can go like Monday and Tuesday you can go to this party. But Wednesday and Thursday when we go to this other mansion party, you gotta stay back. That's just coming from my inside guy. Like this is truth. Like, you know what I mean? That party, like when they say Diddy party, yeah, a few people was around at that time and they couldn't go.
I've asked this question.
And
man, so Jaguar Wright made it all the way onto Piers Morgan. Hit the comments and let me know if you're shocked to see that, man. Like a lot of these big shows, big platforms on major networks, sometimes you're like, yo, they do zero research, right? When they bring people on or certain topics in which they speak of, you can just see the ignorance, you know what I mean? Because Jaguar Wright, like recently there's been some videos that I've done where we've used some clips, right? Some of the things she was saying about Bieber and Usher and, this cycle that seemed to go on involving Diddy and such. And I always, take what Jaguar Wright says at times with a bucket of salt, not a grain of salt, right? And when I say that, I'm not saying she's a full-blown liar, right? Y'all let me know if you think she is or not, or if you think this is a shtick she's running with, or she's in a sense playing a character or whatever, right? But I take certain things with a bucket of salt, like I said, you feel me? Because I'll use those clips in context and speak on them and want to hear from the people and be like, what do y'all think? You know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes it seems like she creates these clips or these interviews based on certain things that could be factual, and she'll put crazy extras on them, right? Or sometimes, man, she could just be wilding, styling, and profiling like Ric Flair, cutting a wrestling promo or something. You know what I mean? Like, you never know with Jaguar, right? But I'm saying this to say I'm shocked that she would make it on a platform like Piers Morgan. And it just, to me, if they would have went and just had someone on the team that works for that show, like dive into the blogosphere machine, type her name in and watch 10 minutes of Jaguar Wright content, they'd be like, yo, I don't know if she'll be the best to have on the network, but they did. And you heard her, man. She was talking about Harvey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Diddy, the diddler. That's what she calls him. She don't even call him. She didn't say that on Piers Morgan, though, right? She's been calling him the diddler all over the blogosphere, but on Piers Morgan, she said Sean Diddy Combs, I think, right? Am I bugging? Am I tripping? Comment and let me know. So I guess she did tone it down a little bit as to what she would typically do on the blogosphere type vibes, right? But she's like, they all have one person in common, and that's Sean Carter, Jay-Z. Sean, this stops today. You know what I mean? And I didn't even see the whole thing, you know. Comment if you watched the whole episode. Maybe we'll have to go dive into that thing head first, pause, and see what they were talking about on there. You know what I mean? But she was still running with the Jaguar Wright shtick, but I guess just the fact that she wasn't saying the diddler, she's like, the diddler isn't gonna be major network friendly, so I'll say it this way. But she's putting Jay-Z into this category with all these wicked individuals, and like I said, you know, there's all these narratives going on, and we've even seen 50 Cent taking jabs at Jay-Z, right? Like, yo, why you ain't answering the phone for Puff and things like that. And we saw him doing it to Puff, to Diddy for years, but we found out that there was really something there. It was more than just jokes. It was more than just Diddy on that pause time trying to take people on, you know, non-hetero shopping sprees. You feel me? Like, there was more there, and it seems that Fifth knew that, and he was trying to tell the world about it, right? Because like I keep saying, man, when it comes to this extra weirdo Epstein-like behavior in these ritualistic like ish, no one will actually speak on it flat out directly. They'll speak on it in code, or where you got to read between the lines, right? Jaguar Wright, someone that was like, yo, I'll speak about it directly and I'll put 50 bajillion extras on it. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, y'all see what happened. They did, it was like Big U with Adam22 and Luce Cannon. They got the cease and desist and complied with it with the quickness. They did have Luce Cannon back on the platform. And yo, what's wrong with that guy, man? He bumped his head too many times. He bumped his head as a baby. Like, extra goofy time with that individual. You know what I'm saying? But back to what we're talking about here, that's what they did. They got the cease and desist letters, and Piers Morgan said, yo, we're going to comply and pull it down. And we apologize to Jay-Z and Beyonce, you know, but it shows you Jay didn't step out and ask for an interview. He has been silent since all this has been going on. And I'm not saying anything other than saying what I'm saying. And I want to know what y'all are saying about what I'm saying. You feel me? Because like I said, 50 Cent, I've been trying to decipher if the jabs that he's been taking at Jay-Z is the same thing that he was trying to tell us with Diddy, or he's just trolling, he's just plugging with hope. I don't know. I want to know, though, what everyone else thinks about out there. But you see, they complied with the attorney's request quick. Does that speak to you in any way? You know what I mean? They're going back and editing it out of the original interview. It's like it never happened. Like, that's Piers Morgan. That's a big deal. They just don't do that, you know, to do that. But again, I laugh when I'm like, man, Piers Morgan, no one on that squad knew what they were doing. They didn't know anything about Jaguar Wright when they had her on there, I don't think, you know. But that's another good point to think about, how no one will ever speak about the wicketry flat out. They'll speak about it indirectly, where you got to read between the lines, right? They'll speak in riddles or codes. Jaguar Wright just comes out full blown, just like, this is what it is. And she got 50 million stories too, like extra stories, like, you know what I mean? But at times, like I said, her clips contextually in a concept kind of way, to me, can speak and be used in a sense, if y'all feel what I'm saying, or they're just good to react to, or they're just like, yo, what in the fuck, you feel me? But you see Meek Mill saying, having Jaguar Wright on there talking about Jay and Beyonce is like having Quilly speak for Philly. And y'all saw that other clip with Quilly on Academics, where he was talking about how this whole Meek Diddy thing, where Meek has said, yo, I got 100,000 wow for anybody who can figure out why I'm in Diddy's paperwork, as we started seeing the narratives going crazy on the internet, you know, that Meek swings that way and them dressed in matching clothes with a little guy with him. Pause. I don't know what the fuck's like if you say little guy, Midget, but they were all on pause time and all that. And you know, we recently saw Bobby Shmurda come out and saying that labels are behind it, that it's labels doing it to Meek because Meek walked away and went independent and all that. I don't know, you know. Let me know what you think about it all. But Quilly was saying from his time spent with Meek that when Meek was rocking with Diddy, hard body karate, certain parties that they would go to, Meek didn't get the invite. He wasn't invited to the cookout. He wasn't invited to the he wasn't invited to the freak off. He'd have to stay at the Airbnb or the mansion or whatever. Yo, I gotta say too, academics, you getting fat as fuck, you fat sloppy son of a bitch. Act looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick. Quilly on my ish, that would be some bars for Meek, right? Yo, Act, eat a fat ick. Pause. But there you go, man. Piers Morgan apologizes. Jay-Z and Beyonce, you know, striketh it down with the attorneys like Big U did, Adam22. Meek Mill speaking about it all. Hit the comments. Let's talk about it all, man. Academics looking fat as shit, y'all. Let's talk about it. Subscribe. It's Coffee. I'm out here. Peace.